Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. Now, there's an echo for some reason. Oh my God. You know, it had to happen, right? That's what the issue is. Hello? Okay. All right, cool, cool, cool. We're good now. We are good. We are good. Absolutely perfect. We're great. All right. So, we've got a decently sized episode going on today. We ended last episode having pulled ourselves out of the relegation zone. We are currently just out of it. I'm hoping to put a little bit more space in between us and that. Um, but obviously we have to play some games. We've got a couple of big ones coming up. I mean, we've got Man City away, we've got Tottenham at home, we've got Stoke away in the FA Cup. So got a lot to do. I'm hoping, as you can see in the things to do list, I'm hoping to finish the episode with a positive points to place ratio. Um, so right now we are 25th place and we have 25 points. I'm sorry, we're in 17th place and we have 25 points. I want us to continue with that. I think that it's doable, certainly doable. Um, it's just a matter of I'm sorry. It's been a long day. It has been a long day, but what I really want is games played to points differential, not places to points. I want games played to points. Right now, we're dead even. We're at a flat zero. I want that to be positive by the end of the episode. I don't think we've had it been positive yet in the save, but you know, we will we will continue to work. We will continue to get there. As a reminder, this is a Sir Alex Ferguson save. So we have 26 years. Probably won't get 26 years worth in FM26, but we have taken Fulham over when they were in on November 6th. They were the penultimate team at the bottom of the Premier League, much like Sir Alex Ferguson took over Manchester United at the very, or I guess, second to last position in the Premier League, and then went on a 26-year tear, coaching 1,500 games and winning 36, 38 trophies or something like that. We are looking to do our very best to emulate that rise. Obviously, I don't think we're going to get through 26 years. This will probably turn into a like a several off video as we get closer to the end, and it's very obvious that we're not going to finish this by the time FM27, fingers crossed, I don't know, FM27 comes out. But we'll do our best. So we've got Fulham going on here, and I am going to put our little live stream or live scene up in OBS. So as you can see, we just walked Everton at home for nothing, and they are above us, sitting in 12th place with 29 points. That helped boost us out of the relegation zone. We do have Man City coming up to bat in 4 days, so we got a lot going on for us. So let's just scoot along and see how badly we lose to City. They have overcome their rivals, apparently. I wonder if that was the Manchester Derby. Oh, no, Liverpool. Okay. Speaking of Liverpool, happy days for us today. Liverpool went and just smack jobbed Newcastle and made it very apparent that their correct result happened in the away fixture earlier in the season. Yes, we took it a little late in that game, but the right thing happened, much like the right thing happened today. All right. Timothy Castingay is injured. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Luckily, we've got Kenny Tete, who has come back from injury. In fact, we could probably take a look at our squad. Castingay's injured. Alex Iwobi is injured. All right, and that's it. So that's nice to see. That it's only the two of them. So I'm gonna just go right ahead and put Tete in. And then who would I want here? Maybe we put Kearney on the bench. We do have Matthias Tell. Oh, that's right. I looked up at our screen, at our squad. Oh, and was reminded of the beautiful signings that we had. Let's very quickly go over this transfer history here. All right. So in January we brought in Matthias Tell on loan from Tottenham. He's got 2 assists and 5 appearances for us. Then we bought Igo Ogbu for 17.25. He's played twice for us. He's 6'2", 15 jumping reach, 17 strength, 15 heading, 15 passing, 15 marking, 14 tackling. Dude is a physical freak. Then Tom Barth we brought in as a future prospect, and I think he will end up doing very well for us. I mean, all around at 20 years old, he's pretty solid. Yiz Basuma, we brought him in, and immediately I think maybe regretted it because we had several players, if I'm remembering correctly, we had several players that we couldn't sign because now we have too many non-English players in the squad, and we couldn't kind of sort them out. But I mean, he's got 17 tackling, so for him being that defensive mid for us in our system, I'm fine with. Philip Sander from Borussia Mönchengladbach, we have him in on loan. He's another midfielder because we got rid of a whole bunch of midfielders. Roberto Alvarado, we brought him on. That's right, and he has not played very much yet, but we brought him in as a regular starter. I mean, technically, he's spectacular. 15 crossing, 16 dribbling, 14 finishing, 15 first touch. He's got decent acceleration and pace. He's 27 years old. He's a Mexican international, 61 caps for Mexico, and he's a good Premier League player according to our coaches. So he will be great. Marco Friedel, we brought him in as a center back / left back, but he is going to pair with Joachim Anderson and Igbu. Harvey Barnes, oh God, I'm remembering all of this wonderful news here. Harvey Barnes, we brought him in on loan from Newcastle because we needed English players. I know he's Scottish, but he's been trained in England. And then Yuri Alberto was our big signing. We brought him in for $15 million, and he has come out flying. 15 finishing, 15 pace, 15 agility, 15 acceleration. His off the ball is 16, determination 50. I mean, he's phenomenal. He already has a goal and an assist in his very first game. And I think that's it in terms of incomings. Outgoings, I mean, we dropped the big Saudi Arabian bomb for $56 million. What's going on, Mike? $56 million to Al Hilal. He was getting paid $150,000. Now he's on for $1 million plus. So good for him. We sent out Harrison Reed for 13.5. And Andres Pereira, we did that way far. Yeah, so I mean, those are the big ones. Emil Smith-Rowe and Harrison Reed combined for $70 million. And we, I think, have turned that into quite the tidy little group here. We're still scouting a couple of people, but I want to make sure that we're putting the appropriate people here on the bench. Matthias Tell can come in, but who would we take out instead? Muniz, maybe? Because we do have wingers now. Muniz has 3 goals. I think I'm going to give Matthias Tell a run up top. I know that he's got 2 assists, and I had been using him out on the left, but that was before we got all of our wingers in. He's a defensive mid, not necessarily an attacking mid. Kearney. Sure, we'll play you there. All right, so I'm not gonna continue to mess around with that. How you doing, Mike? How's the week been? We finally have players named in the team of the week. Bernd Leno, Anthony Robinson, and Yuri Alberto. I mean, when you beat a team higher up the table than you, and frankly a more prestigious team, makes sense that your players are getting their recognition. Well, being the Greek in the chat here, I'm trying to be a little saucier, go outside of England and be a little more worldly. Spinazzola's injured. Philip Sander has a bruised shin. Oh, boo-hoo. It's funny, I've talked about it in the non-league to Premier League episodes that are coming up next week. But we ended up getting Fulham in the fourth round of the FA Cup. So it was a clashing of worlds. What they call that, like a collaboration episode or whatever, like when Family Guy and American Dad did their episode together. I don't know, it felt odd to be cheering against many of the same guys that we are sitting here every Saturday cheering on. Oh, nice. Now I'm probably starting the Pentagon or something similar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hate that. Guess I'll go to the bottom. That's such an odd bug where if you click on somebody who has already you've already addressed, it then blanks out everybody you haven't already addressed. Who did you end up beating in the Champions League? This is a seltzer. All right, so we have a couple of injuries sitting on the bench, but I mean they're pretty low key. We do have our homegrown talent here, Josh King, sitting on the bench, and he will probably be the one to come into one of those attacking midfield roles. But we've got Leno in goal, Robinson, Ogbu, Anderson, and Tete across the back line, Basuma, Kearney, and Lukic as our midfield 3, Kevin on the left, Wilson on the right, and Yuri Alberto up top to face the big bad sky blue of Man City. that we're now too big a club for our 30,000 seater stadium. So while it's being expanded, we are renting. And no way. That's funny. That's funny. So you're just like ground sharing with Liverpool, or did they move out, or what? We are the underdogs. Let's be honest here. I anticipate having to take some medicine today. All right, they did not pull any punches. I guess Nico O'Reilly is the only name that probably shouldn't be in there. But we get things started. Yves Bissouma immediately doesn't do anything. We do have two shots though. We're 4 minutes in and we've got two shots, so that's great. You beat Barcelona, Real Madrid, and PSG. I mean, that's pretty wild. Like, the pathway to the Champions League final against a very beatable Porto was those three. I mean, you absolutely should have won. They should have just given it to you after that semifinal against, I assume, PSG, just based on your list. No point in playing against Porto because you've already played like the entire world essentially. Oh, I'm sure. So you're ground sharing. Do you ever play each other in the? Did you ever play each other in the Champions League or whatever? Was it one of those like? 'Cause I know for a while before the Clippers in the NBA built their stadium or their arena, I should say. They were sharing with the Lakers, and Erling Haaland has his goal, but he's offside. Offside? And so I know it was a logistical nightmare because they also had the Kings in there too. Disallowed, great. And so it was like just constant nonsense where they were going back and forth and like turning over flooring tiles and rehanging banners and all sorts of nonsense. So it would be interesting if that were the case in a football stadium, a ground share like that. Because I know what AC Milan and Inter Milan, they share a stadium, right? Oh, an own goal! Ah, as if City needs any help in beating us. Yikes. I don't want to watch that nonsense. That's silly. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Well, still, I mean, it's not like you walked. Ooh, just wide. It's not like you walked to the final. I mean, it unless they beat, three of the other major clubs. So you beat Barca, Real Madrid, and PSG. So if they beat like I don't know, City, Liverpool, like essentially all the English teams, Bayern, throw Bayern in there. Though their Champions League form isn't spectacular, so maybe that would be a lot easier than one might think. You're Alberto. Let's go, Yuri Alberto, our Brazilian beauty. Let's freaking go. From the middle of nowhere, Harry Wilson dumps it into the box. They half clear it, and Yuri Alberto takes it down with his foot and just crunches it through all of the traffic. Erling Haaland just traffic cop just watches it go by. Wowzers, let's go. We are drawn with City away 1-1 at halftime. I mean, I think that we might have 34% possession, but I think that in itself is good for us. That shows that we have made a lot of really great moves. Let's go ahead and pump the boys up. Well, that kind of backfired. to Tete. Harry Wilson immediately gets it. Oh, how quickly the tables can turn. That was almost 2-1 in a heartbeat, in a hummingbird's heartbeat. John Stones to Rico Lewis, Ruben Diaz, Garvial, Nico Riley, can't fit it in. Tete, let's go. I mean, all things considered, I think our team has played spectacularly well. Vardial goes and takes Harry Wilson down. I mean, is Kevin playing that poorly that they want us to have him shoot less often? I mean, this has been an incredibly even game, which is spectacular. If it weren't for that own goal, we'd be winning right now. And, you know, if it weren't for all the other people who win the lottery, I would have won it. So you could say that for just about anything. Oh, Jeremy Doku. All that skill and no finish. My players with high technique to have the curls ball trait so that I get a few nice goals per year without it. I rarely see any long distance shots go in. I mean, speaking of nice goals, I had been filming, pre-filming some episodes for non-league to Premier League because I got a bunch of stuff coming up this weekend or this week. And our own Will Dixon went and put an absolute worldie out there. I'm gonna put a short. I'm gonna put a short together for it, but he put an absolute worldie out of nowhere, pulled it right out of nowhere. I cannot wait to share that with you all because it was psychotic. Anthony Robinson is tired, but do we want to put Friedel back there? I mean, I guess we did sign him to give us some give Anthony Robinson some support. Give us an option, like a legitimate option to take him off because what's his face? Sessegnon, is the drop from Anthony Robinson to Sessegnon is pretty spectacular. Yuzbasuma is not playing great. 6'3". I mean, he should be better than that. I'm kind of stunned that he has just decided that he's going to be terrible. Like out of kind of nowhere, he's just like, I'd rather not play. I mean, do we put Sander in with him being injured? I know that he just like has a tiny little ouchie, like a paper cut or something. Harry Wilson. We can put Harvey Barnes in. He's a right-footed player. We can get him out on the wing. So I don't know. Do we put Sander in? I mean, what are our other options, I guess? Here I am talking to myself. Josh King. Ogbu can play there. And Calvin Bassey can come in for him. Maybe we try that. Is this the game to be trying weird stuff like this? I don't know. We're about to find out, though. Because we have made 4 of our 5 substitutions. And, yeah, we've got 10 minutes to go. We have been the better team. Do we smash and grab this? I mean, it would help Liverpool. And, you know, I am all about helping Liverpool. I don't think we're going to get another opportunity. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. They are just sitting on top of us right now. Can we make it through 1 more minute without having to touch? Yes, we will. We are stealing a point from Manchester City. Here I was thinking we were going to have to take some medicine today. Nah, man. All sugar, no medicine. I mean, the assistant coach wants me to say we should have won. But yeah, nobody gave us a chance, and we took points. So the partnership up front being named Dickoff and Dixon. There was one golly, I was editing a video several weeks ago, and I had like skipped back to a I'd skipped back to a part, and I was just like quickly like 1 second skipping back, and I must have just like barely clipped the perfect two words together. But I got the first part of Dickov, and then for some reason I said the word chicken in the edit, and so it came out as dick chicken. And I cannot tell you enough. I can't tell you enough how hard I laughed. I sitting here with my headphones in. My wife is sitting on the couch watching whatever TV show she was watching, and all I had heard as I'm just very seriously editing this video was dick chicken. I lost my mind. That sent me. We're gonna have to pay Crystal Palace 1.4 million after Joe Anderson plays another 5 appearances. He's going to play that, or he's going to play that. We're going to have to pay him. So no point in getting all butthurt about it. Yeah, right. Like, I think. I mean, I think I refer to Dixon and Dickov when they play up top as the double Ds. Um, but I mean, it could be the double dicks. I don't know. All right. We are gonna skip ahead here. I was disappointed that we couldn't get any of the PSG players, because they had that striker for loan, and then they had Kang-In Lee out on loan as well. We didn't get him, but I would say that we did a pretty decent job. Do any of these people interest me? Well, they're already a performance analyst for us, so I don't need to do anything. They're already a... Why do you keep giving me people that I already own? Okay. Cool. All right, so now we have Stoke in the FA Cup. We are playing away. One would think that this would be a pretty straightforward matchup for us. They are 7th in the championship and 15 points off of top place Ipswich, who, Jiminy Christmas, they have built quite the little cushion for themselves to come up into the Premier League again. So when I in FM24, when I was doing my Pentagon challenge, I didn't end up going to South Africa, but I managed in Egypt, and so I was getting a whole lot of African players, and you know, you need to keep certain numbers up, blah 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 blah. And yeah, I mean, I was pulling some crazy people, but Bad Boy is pretty badass. I'm hoping you signed him just for the meme. All right, send Jimenez home. Last thing I need is flu or a cold or whatever that is ripping through the team. I mean, boys and girls, we've taken 4 points out of our last 6 possible in the Premier League after picking up Fulham at the very bottom, or second to last in the table, a la Sir Alex Ferguson. So I mean, things are looking up. Coming out of the January transfer window to pick up points like that against significantly better teams than us in Everton and Manchester City. I think that speaks very highly of the work that we did in the transfer window. And I would defy any of those fools that said that we were panic buying to go ahead and take a look at us now. You know? Well, Harvey Barnes is cup tied, so we need another winger to come in. And we don't have a winger. I guess Sessegnon is technically a winger, but I don't want to use him as that. I guess we can bring Muniz in, and then Matthias Tell can be our winger. Oh, okay. I had some great first names in my save though, like Boom Boom and Rocket. There is nothing that could have stopped me from signing somebody named Boom Boom just for the fact that I would be able to say it again and again and again on stream. I mean, in non-league to Premier League, you know, I'm getting comfortable with a lot of the names being used. You know, I can kind of bandy them about and throw them around and, you know, have a good time doing that pretty easily. But if I had somebody named Boom Boom, you better believe I'm not saying anybody else's name. Everybody is going to be Boom Boom from that point forward. Boom Boom did this. Boom Boom scored. Boom Boom dribbled the whole team. Boom Boom made the save. No way that I'm going to refer to anybody else by their name, because you can't get any better than that. I did find, and this will be another, give you a little sneak preview of ooh, it's snowing, of a short that's coming out. I found an Irish, I can't remember if he was a physio or a sports scientist, but he had gotten suggested to me. And his name, kid you not, this guy is Irish. He's darker skinned and just like gray hair, but he's only like 26. So I don't know if that's like a dye job or he just like prematurely grayed. But my guy's name literally was Sultan, like Sultan, Sultan, Sultan Pepper. What a cool name, right? And he's got all of this cool hair. Yuri Alberto continues to score. That is now 3 goals in 3 games for Yuri Alberto as he bangs home Harry Wilson's deep cross from, I mean, he's practically in this first row of seats here on the sideline, and Yuri Alberto is able to get up, nod the cross in, and we're up 1-0 away to Stoke. We may not be able to figure out if we can do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke, but we're going to figure out that we can do it on presumably a cold, snowy afternoon in Stoke. So good for us. I'm interested, like, we switched Kevin here into, I think he's a wide forward. And I remember early in the save, he was really struggling because we were really trying to just like force him to be a winger or an inside forward. And I don't know where I saw that he wanted to be a wide forward. Yuri Alberto, Sasha Lukic, our boy, Yuri Alberto, maybe the greatest purchase ever in Fulham transfer history. Who knows? But I don't know where we saw that Kevin wanted to be a wide forward, but we put him there and he's been spectacular. I mean, he's not like banging in goals or like his numbers, like assists and all of that aren't super incredible, but I mean, his average ratings have gone up, so it's obvious that he's very comfortable as a wide forward rather than an inside forward or a winger or an inverted winger or whatever. So great. All at Liverpool, 6'7", had a jumping and aerial reach of 20, and his last name was Wall. I mean, that's a really great name for a goalkeeper. And Wall makes the save. Yeah, one would assume that a wall would be able to make a save. Now, if only, what country was he from? Because I mean, the obvious joke here is if he's, hoping that he's Chinese and then he can be the Great Wall of China. But I guess that could go for really any other country. And he could be the ninth wonder of the world. The Great Wall of Ireland, or the Great Wall of the Democratic Republic of Congo, or some, I don't know, something like that. All right, we seem to be in cruise control here. I'm gonna probably start rotating some people out, get some game time, some game time into some of these guys. Yuri Alberto's on a hat trick, so I'm not going to touch him quite yet. But Adama Traore can come in for Harry Wilson. Alvarado can come in for Kevin. I want Alvarado to be a Vinger. Northern Irish. Yes, it would be doubly funny. German, I didn't even think about that one. The Great Berlin Wall. But even that, like Northern Irish, I mean, they are very clear that they are not the same thing as Ireland. So maybe they're building a wall. Who knows? That is odd though, that you would find a 6'7" goalkeeper to play at that level from Northern Ireland. That's one of those odd ones where you're just like, okay, sure, I guess. That's where you came from. Cool, deal. Kevin, in probably his last touch of the game, just goes and dribbles it directly at a Stoke player. Bocat to Manhoef. Bocat deep. What was Bernd Leno doing? Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Bernd Leno is just flailing. It looks like he's trying to give the crossbar a high five without, and doesn't even understand that the ball is coming his way. He goes with his left hand to make the save. It sails directly by his right hand, his right shoulder. What a joke. Bernd Leno, you trash heap. Adama Traore. Oh man, if we mess this up, I'm gonna be real upset. Joachim Anderson, thank you. Sasha Lukic into Yuri Alberto, who somehow is able to win that. Adama Traore inverts. He goes and puts it in. Bertod is able to snag that with his hands, puts it down on the ground. I really want that hat trick for Yuri. I really do, both for him, but then also selfishly for me, as proof that we're spectacular and we know how to sign players. Let's go ahead and put Friedel out there for Robinson. Who else? Maybe Josh King can come in. I know it says that he's injured, but remember, he's got like a broken wrist or something. So he's wearing a cast. So he is protected. We have to remember that that is now our second of 3 stoppages. So we have one more sub and one more stoppage that we can make. We win the ball. Kenny Tete to Joachim Anderson. Adama Traore using the speed. Come on, get Yuri Alberto a freaking goal. Get him the hat trick. Sasha Lukic, Josh King, Friedel into the box. Almost an own goal. And they barely get it clear. Yeah, I mean, you have to assume if a kid has the option to, born in Scotland or Wales or Ireland or Northern Ireland, and they have the option to go and play for an English club, and they have, aspirations to go further with it, I think it's probably a pretty good guess that they're going to take the English club up just because of like the infrastructure. I know that they're, culture and making sure that you stay true to your roots, and that is absolutely a consideration for an innumerable number of players. But at the same time, I think it's pretty safe to assume if you have the ability to go into the academy system for a League One, a big League One team, or a championship or a Premier League team, it like that's pretty straightforward, right? So we have beaten Stoke in, I don't know, whatever round of the FA Cup. I assume it's the third. And we are moving on. That's not going to tell me what round it is. Neither is that. We got a week now until we face Sunderland. What stage are we at? Not the final, you fool. Okay, so I guess that was the fourth round. We beat Middlesbrough. Now we beat Stoke. So we are into the fifth round. We are one round away from the quarterfinal. And I'm only assuming that we're going to get slapped with a pretty sizable team. Ooh, we've got... That's always nice. This is like finding a $10 bill in your pocket when you're doing laundry. We've got $17.5 million and 205K per week in wages for April. What is it? End of April, middle of April, for the Wonder Kids to come around. Joachim Anderson, sure, yeah, I'll let you go on a 1 week break here, my guy. I'll let you go on holiday. Because we have Bassi, obviously we've got Ogbu, and then we've got Friedel as well that can play there. Yuri Alberto, just absolute beauty. I mean, 3 appearances, 4 goals, 2 in the FA Cup, 2 in the league. Yes, please, may I have another? And where did we pick him up? Because from Corinthians. And he had been scoring for fun just the season before. Cool. More power to him for allowing him to come. That's right. And I'm remembering it was like between us and Eintracht Frankfurt, I think. And it just dragged on forever. Like he would not make up his mind. I couldn't tell if it was his like ESC thing. I should really like plan exactly what I'm going to talk about in these, like word for word, just script these, make it easier, but not as fun, I guess. His work permit. I was hoping that maybe it was his work permit that was getting hung up or whatever, but it took forever to get him in. I remember now. That's right. That's right. Harvey Barnes, sure. I don't know what I'm having you train on, but sure. Sunderland, 17th place. So that might be some picking. Tom Kearney's contract expires. He's 35 years old. Certainly not a starter, but he's kind of having to be used as a starter right now. Do we offer Eddie and Sassy contract? Sure. You are not being a fringe player. That is silly, you old platypus, you. You're not having a yearly raise. We'll go 30 and 15. Non-negotiable. You can take it or leave it. Your choice. Relegation release clause. Again, I ain't trying to get relegated, so you can have whatever you want there. Well, if the biggest Welsh clubs choose to play in England because Welsh organized football is basically at Enterprise North level, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do they have? Like Swansea, Cardiff, Wrexham. I feel like I'm missing somebody. But yeah, I mean, they can't even keep uh, the Welsh Football Association can't even keep the best player or the biggest clubs in their own league system. It makes sense, like you're saying, that they can't keep their best players in the league system. Development advice. Nothing there for me. Jimenez considering his options. Cool, dude. Honestly, like you can take your 120K, your 34-year-old body, and skedaddle on out of here because we have a very young, beautiful Yuri Alberto Brazilian. Don't want you. Job Bellingham wants to stay now. Okay, well, I remember that we were going to spend crazy amounts of money if he, what was it? If he played in like 25 games or whatever, and we've only got 20 something left in the season, and so even with FA Cup and all of that stuff, we would not have paid that much money. But apparently, they want to make sure you're good for the cash before you promise to potentially pay them the cash. Newport and Merthyr, okay. Yeah, I've seen a couple of like Merthyr was a big team because didn't they like just come into the football or the English pyramid, the playable leagues and like the base game of FM just in FM24 or FM23? Like that was a big non-league to Premier League, half star to 5 star, whatever type of ooh, we get Watford. Okay, all right. That was a big save back a little while ago. So Watford are 15th in the championship, so they're worse than Stoke were. So this might see us move into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, which would be splendiferous. We play them what in March, but we got to get through Sunderland away, Tottenham at home, and West Ham at home. And am I misremembering this? Didn't we play Tottenham? Yeah, and we drew them 0-0. That was a big. We had like just taken over. Yeah, 3 games before we beat Everton in our first game. We drew Sunderland in a wild one 2-2, and then we drew Tottenham away 0-0. So now we're starting to kind of recycle these games a bit. I'm sure they're going to come in looking to prove a point. Potentially, Yves Bissouma is looking to prove a point since Sunderland let him go, I think, for like $1 million or something. Hmm. One of the worst like quality of life things, because I do this every week. I don't know if anybody else bothers with this, but like I go through every week and I make sure that the training intensities are what they should be, and that I go into the individual trainings and cheer for the like congratulate individual players if their training rating is above like a 7.7, 7.8. um Something in FM24 that I loved is that you could click one player, shift, and the bottom of the group of players, and you could highlight them all and just go through the list quick fire. You couldn't congratulate all of them or praise all of them all at once with one button click, but ultimately it was less clicking because you could just highlight the whole thing and just rapid fire down the list. So ultimately that doesn't like change anything about the game, the quality of the game, but it would have been nice to have. I think there are a lot of things they've taken out a lot of functionality, keyboard functionality from this version of Football Manager. Like, I hardly ever use my keyboard anymore, and I mean, I almost exclusively used my keyboard in FM24. Like, moving forward, closing out windows, I was able to like use the arrow keys much more effectively, but it's kind of just, they've kind of killed that. Just going to get a couple of these training weeks sorted out, and then we'll get going to Sunderland and try to better the 2-2 result from earlier in the season. So I'll just do this month. Then we can get skedaddling. Should be a recovery day. The boys can hang out on a Wednesday? Thursday. Yeah, Thirsty Thursday. Everybody can go out. It's funny, like, does anybody else shape those sorts of like real life scenarios in their head? Like, as somebody that coaches, you know, there's a very specific way that I set up. I don't typically touch training all that often, but I do add the very like the specific things, like after every game is a match review, then it's a recovery, then I finish the day with team bonding because they have just played a game, you know, let the boys go out, cut it up. But I never put community outreach in anything but the first or second training block, because looking ahead, thinking, you know, community outreach, what are they going to be doing in that PM block around evening? I guess they could go to like a soup kitchen, but in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, we want to make this reasonable. They can go and visit hospitals or whatever. And then team bonding, you know, I would feel really weird putting that on like a Tuesday night, because who wants to go out on a Tuesday night, right? Maybe I'm weird for that. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Wobie is back. Thank goodness. And Sassy turns professional, so that's great. All right. Old Marky Mark is going to go get his bag in Saudi Arabia as well. He's going to follow in Smith Rowe's footsteps. Do we I understand that contracts, especially in Saudi Arabia, very few of them are made public. Like, I would think that that would be something that the Saudi government, the whatever the monarchy or whatever, you know, they like own all the teams. So I feel like it would not behoove them to have everybody know what they're paying every single player, because you got to assume the like Saudi national player is not making Ronaldo money or Benzema money, though apparently Benzema's not even making Benzema money anymore, or at least they don't want him to, because he's all in a kerfuffle that he's being asked to take a pay cut, a pretty sizable pay cut by the sounds of it. Harvey Barnes can come in for Joachim Anderson. I'm gonna have Igbu switch here, or Ogbu switch here. And Bassey can play on that left side. That's all I want to do. Alex Iwobi is back, so maybe Sander can take a seat. I can bring Iwobi straight back in the lineup. How long is Josh King going to be? 10 days, 3 weeks. So he's almost there. So, Mike, you said that you are going to start your a Pentagon challenge, do you have like a typical way that you go about that, or like rules that you give yourself to make it easier? Because I think we can all agree that starting in certain countries or on certain continents and being successful in those make the rest of it super easy. Wow, we're 7th in the form table. Look at us. Look at us. It's nice to have this have changed from we could move out of the relegation zone to we could move away from it. But this one says I want the win that could take us out of the these fools. These fools. All the best out there. Have some fun. We scored goals last time against them, and we are definitely a better team than when we played Sunderland the first time. Enzo Lafi, Siddiqui, Neal, Shaka. It's interesting. I just saw that Dan Neal went on loan to like a League One club or something. Yeah, he definitely took a big step down from the Premier League on loan for the rest of the season. And it's crazy because when I took over Sunderland for my Sunderland Till I Die series in FM24, he was phenomenal. Like he was a stalwart for us, and he actually got a move to Saudi Arabia. I'm pretty sure, and ended up getting paid crazy money. But he only got that because he was phenomenal. So it's interesting that the real life has not transferred into or game life has not transferred into real life, or however you want to frame that. They fit Siddiqui in. Siddiqui's one of those players that we like never used. I think we sent him out almost immediately on loan. That was a really fun series. I mean, we ended up winning the Champions League, beating Atletico Madrid, I think, in 2 seasons. So we got into the Champions League in the first season and then won it first time of asking. Fulham are looking spectacular right now. We haven't put anything in the back of the net, but we are looking odds-on favorites to do that first. So it's interesting that in that 1 year, Dan Neal became a player worthy of, I think we got like 40 million, 50 million for him. When in reality, he can't even keep a bench spot at Sunderland. Are there other players like that? Let me know in the chat that you can think of that like in game are very quickly spectacular, but in real life either have never been given the opportunity or have been kind of shipped away to a lower level team. I'm sure there's dozens and dozens. Talby. All right, Yves Bissouma goes and wins the ball. I thought he was going to give up a corner, that biscuit. Granit Xhaka puts it into the box. Sasha Lukic wins it. Yves Bissouma goes up to Harry Wilson. Come on, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Harry Wilson and Kevin are just kind of dinking around. I guess Harry was on the wrong side of the field, but still, like, you're on the left. Make a move. We feed Yuri Alberto. I swear, this man is literally our savior. He is going to be the reason that we stay in the Premier League and make a legitimate push to spectacular things here in the Prem. Yuri Alberto was a masterstroke transfer for us. And we got him for what, $15 million? He is very quickly going to be $100 million man. So quick. I don't have any plans to send him anywhere anytime soon, but he is going to be spectacular. Harry Wilson put some pressure on Granit Xhaka. Reinildo. Robbery. Don't do it. Don't do it. Enzo Lafi. Nah. Bren Leno had that covered all day, every day. again, Seltzer. Kenny Tete, Sasha Lukic, slips in Alex Iwobi. Oh, Yuri Alberto, if he had gone high with that and instead of trying to sneak it under the goalkeeper. Let's take well, when we get that screen back, let's take a look at where we are in the table, where this win would take us. Dan Neal puts it wide to Gertruda. Yuri Alberto on the ball, back heels it to Alex Iwobi. We are looking good. That's some of that Brazilian flair. Kevin in, Yuri Alberto. Kevin slips him in. I mean, Kevin probably could have taken that and probably should have, but he knows a hot hand when he sees it. Kevin goes and slips Yuri Alberto in. I mean, this is unselfish play. He absolutely skins that center back, and he could have dribbled into the space, but instead does the unselfish thing, sends Yuri Alberto, who is bombing toward that near post, and just blows past Roofs. That is now putting a space, a gap in between us and Sunderland at the bottom of, or in the relegation zone. So this is a very important game for us. And it looks like we are doing some good. Oh, I was going to make a sub, but guess not. Reinildo on a yellow card. I think we should really force him into making some mistakes. He's another player that I kind of quickly got over. He played in the first season for us, and then I think we sent him on loan to Celtic, and it was how Brian Brobery misses that. I don't know what happened to our back line, but they were nowhere. They'd been abducted. They were nowhere to be seen. We sent him, Reinildo, to Celtic, and I'm disappointed that we didn't end up getting the money that we were supposed to get for him back. Because it was, I think we had like a $45 million contract or negotiated. It wasn't mandatory, obviously, but I think it was like if he plays over 15 games, and then he played over 15 games, but he was on an expiring contract. So I think they just kind of like, oops, it doesn't count. Ha 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 ha. Which obviously is frustrating because we would have loved to have that $40 million. So I'm going to take Iwobi off for Josh King. Kevin is going to come off for Alvarado, and Harry Wilson is going to come off for Harvey Barnes. Friedel. I mean, we're up 2-0. Let's go ahead and get Robinson off, get him some rest. I don't think we've had to sub him off very often in the save thus far. So I think that's starting to catch up to him because this is now the third game in a row. Yuri Alberto. Yuri the God Alberto. I don't know how you say the God in Portuguese, but we need to learn some Portuguese so that we can talk to our Brazilian wonder. I think that's Josh King. Oh, Yves Bissouma. He says, get the hell out of the way. I am about to go and get my hat trick. He almost had it last game. He has it this game. Oh man, we have found quite the little piece of striker play for us, which is incredible considering how we could not buy a goal when we started this save. And now it's turned on its head. Yuri Alberto, I swear to God, if Reinildo has hurt Yuri Alberto, Alvarado gets his first goal from Harvey Barnes. I want to see Yuri Alberto. Maybe we should take him off. He's gotten his hat trick. Let's take him off just to make absolutely certain that nothing wild happens. I said I'd give Matthias Tell some time up top. I mean, it's stoppage time. But we have just slapped Sunderland 4-0 thanks to a goal from Alvarado and a hat trick from Yuri Alberto. What a turnaround from that 2-2 slugfest that we were in with them before the transfer window. What, our second game in charge, third game in charge. What a turnaround. That puts us, let's confirm. Pause for cause. That puts us 2 points clear of the relegation zone. We now are +2 in our played to points ratio. Things are looking up. I mean, we'll skip forward so we can see like a big kid version of that. Mbappe going to Liverpool. 169 million. There's no way Real Madrid gives Mbappe up for only 169 mil. So, all right. Our goal differential is -5, which is great. We are now 1 point would put us up into 4th. We're only 3 points away from 10th. 3 points away from 10th. We need a lot to go our way, but we have the opportunity to make a statement here in our very first season in charge. Yuri Alberto, you absolute beauty, you. I love everything about you. If I could speak Portuguese, I would whisper sweet Portuguese nothings in your ear to tell you how much you mean to me. And how much you mean to this team, because let's be honest, we wouldn't have gone very far if Yuri had decided to go to Eintracht Frankfurt instead. Thankfully, he used his brain and came to England for all the glories that are England, English soccer. Anderson is back. Devin Tanton playing well for Chesterfield, apparently. Cool, great. Let's go ahead and end that. Actually, I'm going to give the boys a rest, maybe 3 days. Does that sound good, guys? Does that sound good? 3 days. Not you, Alex. You just had your rest. Stop asking. 3 days rest. See what that gets for us. More players named in the team of the week. Tete, Barnes, and Yuri Alberto, obviously. Goodmanson. We don't play with a cam, though. I love all that green, but we don't play with a cam. Raul Jimenez. Cool, dude. If he's not sold, we can't sell him. I mean, if somebody wants to take him, sure, yeah, absolutely. I don't know who would be able to negotiate or would want to on an expiring contract like that. I don't want you to leave, Byrne. Why would you want to leave? That's crazy. All right, dude. Sure. I mean, you're not even registered in the squad. So what does it matter whether I think you're an important player or a starting player or what it like? Get over yourself. Big game against Tottenham here. But I think we have them at home, which is good. I think I might be completely misreading that. Robbie Dawson. I think we can do better. Castingay's back. It's been Spinazzola's back. Yes, we have them at home, which is good. We took them to that 0-0 draw at their house earlier in the season. So hopefully hopefully we can keep the good times rolling here. Because I mean, since the transfer window tipped over, we've only lost 2 points. We've got 10 points out of 12. I guess we've got 7 points out of 9 because we beat Stoke and that wasn't in the league. But I mean, we're doing pretty decent. Nottingham Forest has gotten rearranged. Sure, cool. Rodrigo Bentancur, Brennan Johnson. Anybody in the chat has any questions about the purpose of this or like what we're doing, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Or if you just want to talk smack about English soccer or just football, sorry, English football, or world football in general. The World Cup is coming to America this year, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare for America, both for the team and then also just like logistically. I recently went to Philadelphia because I'm a coach in real life. And I recently went to Philadelphia to the coaching convention, the United Soccer Coaches Coaching Convention. And so, you know, being surrounded by coaches from all over the world, we had some Villarreal staff members rolling around the Philadelphia Convention Center looking very nice. They've got some spectacular kits. Not like the play, well, I mean their play kits are nice as well, but like just apparel, that beautiful like olive tank green. They were looking pretty crispy. But like Celtic was there as well. We had some people from Bayern. Like this very much is a worldly event, both as a visitor, but then also as a presenter, which I know several of those world coaching powers were there to put on presentations. But having everybody there, the talk was, what is it going to look like for the US? We've got 100 recommended players. I have not kept up with this. What is it going to look like for the US in the World Cup this year? Both in terms of how are they going to do, but then also in terms of how they're going to do, but then also in terms of, like I said, logistically, how that's going to work. And I think it was the resounding decision was that it's going to be terrible. Like it's going to be not great. Some people were talking about having gone and seen games, like international friendly games at some of the stadiums that are going to host for the World Cup. And the security involved with that, just getting into the stadium, getting down the street was just a nightmare. And so when it really matters, I can't imagine it's going to get any better in the next 5 months. But who knows? You know, who knows? Maybe it's going to be spectacular and everyone's going to have a great time. I'm sure everyone's going to have a great time. They sure better with as much money as they're spending on it. So, yeah, I guess back to the original. We could talk about anything you want to talk about. Throw something in the chat. I'd be more than happy to to argue with you or agree with you. Polina. Kenny Tete with the win. Gives Basuma out to Harry Wilson. We're just going to play careful here. Just kidding. Kenny Tete in. We drop it back. Oh, no. Oh, Kevin almost made some special things happen with a back heel back to Iwobi, who puts it just wide of the post. And we have shown up today. We've got 4 shots, 1 on target. Tottenham, we're in the 21st minute now, have not even registered a shot. I love this team right now. There's going to be a lot that we're going to have to do in order to build upon what we've established thus far over the summer when we do stay in the Premier League. There's going to be a lot that we're going to have to do. As Iwobi, holy Christmas, Yuri Alberto gets fed in. Finish it, my guy. No, he's not. He gets closed down. But right now, Alex Iwobi in for Harry Wilson. Let's freaking go. I love this team right now. I think we can absolutely do with better right back play, because Castingay and Tete are both old, and I think we want a little more winger and a little less fullback in our wing backs. I think we could probably adjust our midfield a bit. I want to keep Alex Iwobi just because he's been a spectacular player for us, and I want to honor that. But I think we can find somebody to better pair with him than Sasha Lukic. Maybe somebody befitting of a European chasing team. Yuri Alberto, disgusting. Yuri Alberto is disgusting. He just absolutely obliterated this defender. I don't know if it's a center back, full back, just scoops by him. Sasha Bowie freezes Cudi Romero, goes inside, bangs it into the far post with his right foot. Vicario has no chance, and we are flying right now. Let's go. For real, though, but I'm just glad that it's disgusting defense on their side of the field. Lukic puts it in. Joachim Anderson. Oh, Vicario just tips it onto the bar. Brennan Johnson charging up the field. And nothing comes of it because Anthony Robinson shut that down. We are headed to halftime. We are in the 43rd minute right now, and Tottenham have yet to register a shot. Not even one on target, but just a shot in general. This scenes right now. Remember, this game at the Tottenham Stadium ended in a 0-0 draw when, like, our 3rd or 4th game in this save. And now we have gone through our transfer window and done some special things. And now we are whooping up on them. I know it's only 2-0, but I mean, 12 shots, 4 on target. Our possession is pretty equal. And I mean, Tottenham look like they don't want to play right now. They are afraid of us. London is going to be black and white tonight. Nobody's wearing blue. I can only imagine the tiny little Spurs fans walking out of here, ripping their jerseys off, just all in a kerfuffle that their team just got blown out, walked off the field by a Fulham team that, by all accounts, they absolutely should be beating. Can we make any... Do we want to make any changes here? I don't know. I think we're all pretty healthy. I think we can continue to play here. Ever get to a stadium or a new stadium built in FM? Because in real life, yeah, it would be interesting. That's never happened to me. Where in a save, I think I started playing Football Manager with FM22, FM21 maybe, 22 I think. So I've only been playing a few years, or a few iterations of the game, because we were all playing FM24 for 100 years. Um, but yeah, I think I don't remember seeing any London news come through for any of those teams getting a new stadium. It would be interesting if that were hard coded in the game. I know you and I, Mike, were talking about Kevin with the hits it under the crossbar. You and I were talking about the weather and how much it rains here, and how in your Southport save it was just unrelenting. You were just there was no games that you could consistently count on playing every season. Um, just because they kept getting canceled. So it would be interesting to see if, like when we were talking about, do they take into consideration, they being the Sports Interactive design team, do they take into consideration things like that, like London being impossible to build in when designing hard coding the game? We're gonna make our 5 subs, give our boys a nice round of applause because we have taken 3 points from Tottenham. That is 3 wins in 4 games. The one game we didn't win was a draw away to Manchester City. We are flying right now. Absolutely flying. And I guess, Mike, specifically to Fulham, I don't think we're in any danger of having let's see what our yeah we're not in any danger of being rewarded with a new stadium anytime soon. I mean, the stadium is immaculate. It's got 29,000 seats in it. It was built in 1896, rebuilt in 2021. So I mean, it's only 5 years old, the renovations. So we probably won't get to see that in our save. Nice. Is that so? Color me ignorant. Is that the rainy season in the United Arab Emirates? Like, does that make sense? Again, forgive me, all those people out there that potentially are watching this, being like, "You freaking American, you idiot! You don't know what our weather systems are here in the Middle East." My bad, my bad. But maybe somebody helps me. Yuri Alberto wins Player of the Month. It's his first month in the Premier League, and he's already winning Player of the Month trophies. Okay. Remember when I said who's going to be able to give us money for Raul Jimenez? Apparently, Mexican teams. And I mean, with Matias Tell, Muniz, and Yuri Alberto on the roster in the depth chart ahead of Raul Jimenez, he's on 120K a week. He's not going to play again, and he's on an expiring contract. If we can get any money for him, I mean, yes, right? Like, I know it's only 325K and he's apparently worth a million, but like, we got to take it, right? And maybe I saw that Chivas is in or interested. So maybe we can get a little bidding war going on between the two of them. That would be nice. Everybody is ecstatic. We're all excited. Well, yeah, I recognize, like, geographically, I have a basic understanding of the Middle East and the weather patterns and all of that. But I also recognize that, like, you know, deserts aren't necessarily the driest places. Well, I guess in my head, this is making sense. It does rain, right? You know, there are some very hot places that there's a lot of rain. I feel like I'm just making this worse for myself. Ignore what my ignorant American face is saying. Just ignore it. Let's instead focus on saying Yahoo to our players here, though there's not really much to Yahoo about. Matoma, player of the week there. Boo. Castingay can come off a training, because who cares? I probably should have rested them for 2 days, but how about 1 day? That's just as good. 1 equals 2 when it comes to training, right? I didn't even see. We are up to 12th. We got the 1 win. It didn't propel us up to 10th, but we needed a whole lot to happen in order for that to pan out. But a lot did happen. So now we have gone from what we started the episode in 17th. We are now up to 12th with a 4-point cushion over us and Sunderland, who are the last relegation team. 3 points would again see us at 10th. But now we have fewer things that need to happen in our favor to make that a possibility. And I mean, we're only 6 points away from Crystal Palace and 9th. Like, we're creeping up on Europe. I don't believe it's going to happen, but sillier things have happened, you know? I'm going to send you free playing time. You are a surplus to requirements kind of dude. And I'm going to make sure you know that I have no interest in keeping you around, and I want that money because I don't want to lose you for free. Harris haven't got there. He's been tanner than a bronze statue. That is true. And he has that ugly ass bronze statue that we could compare like for like. And he might honestly be tanner than that statue. Have you seen that? Like, was that a big joke, or as much of a joke outside of America as it was inside? Because all of the sports shows, like ESPN and Around the Horn, back when that was going, and all the talking head shows, Stephen A. Smith, like none of them are soccer people, football people. But I mean, they all found something to say about the ridiculousness that was that freaking statue, with poor old Cristiano Ronaldo, as rich as he is, couldn't even put together a better sculpting team. I don't know. It was ugly. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember when it came out, but I mean, they unveiled it, and I can't imagine having sat next to Ronaldo when that came out, because I'm sure he was furious, like shaking. As much as he prides himself on his appearance, to have it represented in that fashion, I'm sure was horrifying. All right, let's make sure Alvarado is, well, let's give Alvarado a run here. Kevin's been spectacular. We are playing West Ham on a short week. I don't want to change too much, though. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Maybe Maybe that's all we do. I do want to see Alvarado is Premier League capable, Premier League of the Premier League level. So I think that he absolutely should be given opportunities because I think he might be the long-term option. I know that Fulham spent all that money on Kevin in the summer, or the year before. I think they spent like $47 million or something, some crazy something on him. But I mean, and we can compare the two. If you all remind me to do that after this game, we can compare the two. But I can almost guarantee that Alvarado has a brighter future with us. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They did a better job with the Rocky statue 20 to 30 years. I mean, it's what that movie is set in the 80s. And I think it was, or actually, I don't know when it was set, but it was filmed in the 80s. And so you have to assume that oh, what a save by Bern Leno. Sees it late and is able to get over and push it all the way out for a corner kick. James Ward-Prowse comes up. And we clear it as far as Malcolm. All right, Bern Leno comes to claim it. So I would assume that the statue was built somewhere around there, either for the movie or in celebration of the movie. So yeah, it's now, that's a penalty. It's now like 50 years old. Oh, Yuri Alberto's not spectacular, so we'll let Harry Wilson go for it. I mean, I'm sure Yuri Alberto, with his goal scoring form, could absolutely put this in, but let's not change too many things. If Harry Wilson wants to take it, let's have him take it. All right. Harry steps up. Harry converts. Harry Wilson, let's freaking go. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the goal celebration signage here, because in the non-league to Premier League with Marine AFC save, we're currently in League 2, and when a goal is scored, you get the player's name. I don't know if you get the assister. I don't know if you do, but you get the player's name and then how many games they've played and how many goals they've scored in those games. I would think that if you're going to do that for League 2, and I have yet to see in Malcolm scores, I have yet to see in the save League 1 or the Championship, so I don't know if that has translated into those leagues, but I would assume that if you can do it in League 2, you should be able to do it in League 1. Maybe Mike, since you've played through all of the leagues, when does that stop? Is it the Premier League where they just stop doing the good stuff where you can like see how well your players have done over the season? Or was that Harry Wilson's like first goal and they were like, nobody wants to see how embarrassing that is? It's been an evenly matched game. I mean, statistically, we're both kind of in it. He had 17 for penalties. First time I ever saw that on a game. Did he, was he taking penalties for you? Kenny Tete! What was that goalkeeper doing? I don't even know. Who is playing in goal for them? Hermanson. What is he doing? He comes out to the 6-yard box with every intention of the world of getting to it and gives like a half effort just to go up and get the ball. And Kenny Tete just watches it sail over by like a foot, sail over his fingers, just nods it home on the far post. Excellent work. Kenny Tete has put us up 2-1 on West Ham. And we are now in 10th place. So if all things hold as they are right now, we are going to be in 10th place at the end of the game, which from where we started, from where the series started, from where like the first episode or two was, is one heck of a turnaround. And Yuri Alberto is offside. That would have been quite the little flick on, though. And we were going into halftime up 2-1 over West Ham, who, I mean, are no slouches. They're in 8th place. This is a big game for us, closing that gap on those European spots, because I mean, now we're only 8 points behind that 8th place. So I assume with England getting the coefficient they always get, 5th is Champions League, then 6th, maybe 7th is Europa, and then 8th might be Conference League, or maybe it's 6th in Europa. I would assume if we're going to get 5, or we get 4 Champions League spots, the Premier League would get more than one Europa League spot. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, or I guess I'm guessing. I'm admitting that I don't know. So inform me if you would. Well, what was his composure, if you remember? Because I know that always, I mean, I've had players that have 18, 19, 20 in penalties, but their composure is like 11. And it's like Malcolm scores again. It's like they take that penalty number and reduce it by 5 or 6 points, which is frustrating because they should be a spectacular goal threat from the penalty spot, and then they just get reduced by the fact that, you know, a grasshopper could shake them. Alex Iwobi launches it over to Kenny Tete. Tete into the box. Alvarado, nobody there. Iwobi back to Basuma. Basuma with the, I don't know what's happening here. Basuma tried to launch it from there. What? Sasha Lukic, you animal. What part of his foot did he contact that with? Is that a trivela? He settles it down. That's a trivela on the outside of his right foot. Skies it over Hermanson in full stretch and doinks it down off of the crossbar. Sasha Lukic, top down, puts us up 3-2. What a wild game this is. Anthony Robinson puts it in, doesn't find anybody, gives Basuma, Sasha Lukic. I mean, Sasha, go ahead and take it, man. If you can find it at the top of the box like you did before, go ahead and take a shot. You have proven that you can convert those. Anthony Robinson driving at the end line. Yuri Alberto gets kind of stuffed there at the mouth of the goal. Alex Iwobi wins it back, gives Basuma. Just give it to Sasha Lukic. It's clear that only one of you can hit that banger from the top of the box, and it is not you, though you are the best player on the field. Well, you know, when you're good, you're good. Kenny Tete. They said it was a 2-footed tackle. I don't see how he went down to ground. I don't know if he went to ground. And now we are in a world of awkwardness because we don't have a right back on the bench. Ooh, this can be not fun. Anthony Robinson can't play out there. Oh, no. Friedel theoretically can, but who do we take off? I mean, Yuri Alberto is not playing particularly well. He's on a 6.25. All right, so we're going to have to take one of the midfielders out. Thank you. The word substitution. We're going to have to take one of the midfielders out. I feel like it's going to be Iwobi because he's coming back from injury. Friedel's going to go out here. And I think Lukic and Basuma are going to play side by side here. No, I think he's just going to be a midfielder. Oh man, they are making this last 30 minutes of the game interesting. He is going to be a box to box. He can get up the field as long as he sinks back in defense. This will be an interesting last little bit here. I mean, do we invert him then? Maybe an inside fullback? Just so we can get onto his left foot? I think that might be the game, or that might be the plan. Yeah, go out and help us hold on to this. I really wish that I mean, I guess the benefit of that is we seem to have injured Lucas Paqueta. And they didn't get any usable footage. What are we doing out here? I'm sorry, I'm pressing pause here. Number 2 was Kenny Tete. But number 2 is sitting here on the sideline. Are they I can just imagine them putting him in the penalty box like in hockey, and they're just making him watch the rest of the game standing on the sideline. He can't go back into the locker room and take an early shower. They are literally just making him sit there and watch the game from the sideline. No way in heck would I... That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, that has to be a bug. I don't get red cards often. So I don't know if that's like a regular bug. He's not on the sideline, I don't think. I don't think any one of those is number 2. Yuri Alberto can't find Harry Wilson, but they can find Victor. Oh, all right. Big save by Ogbu. Maybe we can make another sub here. So Harry Wilson, Yzbasuma, tired. So Harry Wilson, I'm going to put Harvey Barnes on. Tom Kearney can come on for Yzbasuma. We've got 2 more we can make. Anthony Robinson is tired, but we put Friedel out on the left. Bassi, I guess, theoretically can play there. Actually, he's pretty decent out there. And I think we'll hold on to our last player, or our last sub. Oh, that would be so funny that he has to stand in front of the traveling fans. So he's just getting rained with abuse. And he's still standing. That is crazy. I've never seen that. But I mean, that's what happens in the NHL. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of hockey, but when they put you in the penalty box, you're sitting there right next to the fans. And so the Yuri Alberto with the back heel. Ooh. Plexiglass. Like, this thick is all that's separating you, and it's not covered. So you've got people just screaming at you, just all sorts of obscenities, telling you how much you suck. And are we going to squeak out of this having played 30 minutes, down to 10? Hello, we're in the... All right, jeez. All right, we have now won, I don't know, what is that, 4 in a row? 3 in a row? Am I being crazy here? We're going to save the game, because I certainly don't want to lose this. Yeah, we've won 4 in a row, 5 of our last 6. Y'all, things are happening. things are happening. We are in 10th place. We've closed the gap on these European spot. Can you imagine? I don't know where somebody, Mike, could you Google this for me? Where did Manchester United finish in that first season? Sir Alex Ferguson took over. I'm sure I could do it myself, but I feel important having somebody in the chat and I can ask that sort of thing too. So if you don't want to, that's fine. Just tell me to that you're busy and to screw off. But makes me feel important, you know, as a big time streamer. But it would be I don't know. I genuinely don't know where they finished in that season. All right, let's view this incident, because to have a 2-footed tackle, you would assume that you went off the ground. And I swear, I know that there were two people, and maybe sure it was a foul, but I swear I did not see him go to ground here. So, all right, Kenny Tete is right there. Oh, okay, never mind. Proven wrong. Absolutely went to ground. I think he probably went through the back of Paqueta before the ball was even to him. Fair play. Yeah, no need to appeal that. That is an absolute horror tackle. He's probably going to get an additional 2 games. Great call, ref. Great call. Benjamin Sheshko scored a well-struck effort, dazzling the St. James Park crowd. It's funny that that's happening in-game, because that sure as heck is not happening in real life. Honestly, I had forgotten. I watched the... God, who did United just play? Maybe it was in the... I don't know. I just watched United's last game, and he came on... was it the Arsenal game? I think it was the Arsenal game. They had Cunha come in for y'all, I promise it's just been a long day. They had Cunha come on, and then eventually they brought Sheshko on once they were up. If you haven't seen the highlights of that game, wild game. I hate United, but I think I hate Arsenal more. They're just insufferable. So they brought Sheshko on, and I genuinely was like, oh, I didn't even know that he I thought he was injured. They like never play him. All right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna do the Googling. E6. And United. Well, you can just say English First Division results table 1986, 87. So the Football League, blah, 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 blah. The United finished 11th with 56 points, if I have done that correctly. And City got relegated that year. God, what could have been? What might still happen? Well, I doubt it's going to happen with the money, the backing that they're too big to fail, like an American bank. They're too big to get relegated. They've got too much oil money behind them. Then he won the FA Cup in '90. Well, like I said at the top of the save, we're not going to get 26 years in, so we're not going to be able to match him result for result. Well, maybe a truncated version of 26. We can win as many trophies as he did, just in a shorter amount of time. Wouldn't that be something special? But I think the aim, at least for the early part of this save, seems to be finishing above where his Manchester United teams finished. So we just need to finish above 11th with more than, what did I say, 54 points? So we just need to finish above 11th this year. They finished second in 1988. Good for them. I don't know if we're going to get that, but we'll take an average. So what? 22, 24, 37 divided by 4. So like that's right around 37. No, that's not what I wanted. You silly heads. So like 9th place. So if we can average our first 4 years here, if we can average a 9th place finish, we will have matched. I guess if we can do better, we will have bettered Sir Alex's start. And it sounds as though he didn't win anything until his 5th season? 4th season. 11th? Yeah, 4th season, he won the FA Cup. So I guess that would be the next goal for us, is to win the FA Cup within the first 4 seasons. That I think we can do before FM27 happens. Spinazzola, look at you in your old age, still getting up and down the field, being a good guy. I can only imagine how your body feels every morning. I don't even know how old you are, but I assume we are relatively similar in age, just based on your look. I don't have gray hair, but I sure feel old. So if you're out here running around with the youngins, I bet your body hurts in the morning. 9th, 8th place finish could probably get you into the Europa Conference League, depending on coefficients and who wins the cups. Yeah, that's true. So I wasn't crazy in thinking, I mean, I can't see it right now, but I wasn't crazy in thinking that if we close this gap in on 8th, we've got a real shot at going to Europe, which not only helps us with a reputation and bringing in higher quality players, but there's also the financial benefit of that as well. So only good things can come out of that. We are lining up to play Watford at home in the FA Cup here. Harvey Barnes is cup tied, so he can't play. I'm going to put Matthias Tell in. Kenny Tete, that's right. You son of a biscuit, can't play. I want Bencheta in, though, because I need a backup for his silliness, just in case. Traore hasn't played very much, so I'm going to put Bencheta in just in case something wild happens and we don't have to, that way we don't have to put a left back in at right back. Joachim Anderson is tired, so let's go ahead and make the adjustment here. Bassi and Ogbu can switch places, and if we need him, we can bring Joachim Anderson off the bench. Let's go. And give. Well, let's keep it that way. I want to win. All right, I want to win. So let's put our best boys out there. Even if Watford are on paper a worse team than the team that we just beat handily in Stoke, I want to win. So I want this to be a foregone conclusion. Let's kick off. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking in my head, that eighth would be enough, and that English teams typically get two in the Europa League. So I guess, I mean, the wild, fantastical aim here would probably be to finish eighth and look for European work. Because I mean, as a Premier League team, with the goal scoring form that we've put together thus far and a summer transfer window to increase our skill level on the field, Harry Wilson gets blown out by Lusa. You have to assume that we are one of the favorites going into the Conference League. Yves Bissouma, Anthony Robinson went and reached real far for that one, very close to the line, and Selvik doesn't know what happened. Harry Wilson just kind of dumps it to the back post, and Anthony Robinson is just fighting for position, jumps over two players, and Yves Bissouma, I don't even know if that hit him in the head. It just kind of looked like he stared at it real hard, and it was like, whoa, sorry, going into the goal. But we were up 1-0 on Watford, which is exactly what we are expecting. Castengay goes and throws it in. Bassi, Harry Wilson can't get onto it, but Yves Bissouma on the ball again. Lukic plays it out wide to Anthony Robinson, who feeds it into Kevin Iwobi, Yuri Alberto, and it is up and over. Yes, I remember that. And then also like Girona being in the Anthony Robinson, Harry Wilson, let's go. Girona being in the city group, and being in that weird position where I can't remember if they had actually qualified for the Champions League, or there was like a real deep threat, a real legitimate threat that they were going to qualify for the Champions League, and that the city owners were going to have to make a decision. Do we pull City and push them, or do we pull City from the Champions League and put them in the Europa League, or do we put Girona? I understand that there's no real decision there. Like, nobody was going to lose sleep over whether to have Manchester City in Champions League or Girona. I recognize that that's not really a decision, but you also have to assume that the players and the coaching staff in Girona, had that actually played out, that scenario actually played out, would have been, I mean, inconsolable. Alex Iwobi getting in, lays it off to Kevin, back to Lukic. I mean, Lukic is just deciding that he is going to brand himself a long shot merchant, because that was not close. Ogbu to Bassi. I mean, that, like, this, the whole idea of multi-club ownership is just really anti Alex Iwobi into Kevin. Is just really anti tradition, right? Like, it's anti football. Like, back, and I realize the game has changed and there's more money, blah 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 blah. But like, I mean, the game started in like the townships, like workplaces were putting together teams, neighborhoods were putting together teams to represent them and to have fun, right? And now it's like, again, I recognize that capitalism and blah 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 blah. But like, now it's impossible to have it be that and have it be for pride, and we want our team, our neighborhood to be represented, when you've got multi-club owners who at points have to choose whether or which team gets in. I mean, that's like choosing your favorite child. I think as parents, if there are any parents out there, I think we at times have children that we like a little bit more just because they're not being jerks in that moment, while the other one is. But you know, it would be impossible to choose between your children, right? And so I envision club ownership much like that. Like club ownership, I feel personally, should be a single child household. You should be focusing your entire attention on making that child, putting that child in the best position to succeed that you possibly can. Again, I recognize there's too much money in world football now for that to ever be a feasible business model. But at the same time, one can hope. One can say, you know, voice their opinions. I wonder what the Marinakis has a contingency plan. He just hands off controlling stake of Olympiacos to one of his nephews or something for a year and then gets it back. I wonder what the exchange value of that is. Is it like when you get a car, you get your first car from your parents and they charge you $1 for it just so that they can transfer the title to you legally? And then but like they make you sign a contract that says you then have to give them the car back when they want it for 75 cents. So ultimately you're losing money, or $1.25. So ultimately you're losing money. Yeah, I've seen loads and loads of videos. I think I'm not sure how to say. Oh, Matthias Tell with a point blank shot directly into the goalkeeper. I don't remember how, or I don't know how to say the channel name, but it's like HIITC or something like that. And they do all sorts of like exposés on teams. And they did a video on the most hated teams in the world in each country, and Leipzig was like the standalone team just because they are so anti-German football. Let's get Bencheta a run here. We got about 10 minutes left. I mean, we can slow things down. That's not slowing things down. We are on, I think this puts us in the quarterfinals, if I remember correctly. This puts us in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We have had a relatively easy walk into the quarterfinal. I mean, imagine if we win the FA Cup and then all of this talk about where we finish in the table and do we get Europe or not is sort of a moot point. I really hope Norwich beat Arsenal there. Wrexham beat Posh. City beat Liverpool. This isn't helpful. Oh, no. Of course, Arsenal beat Norwich in penalties. Tottenham beat Blackburn. Crystal Palace beat Preston. Colchester beat. So we're hoping for Wrexham or Colchester to get us into the semifinal. The matches will be drawn on the 9th. So in 2 days, Jimenez is going to Pachuca. Cool, great, get out of here, give us our money for absolutely no reason. The fact that we snaked 325K when he only had like 3 months left on his contract. I am absolutely cool with that. Sure. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Not featuring as a squad player while on loan. Because I oversigned our midfield, you fool. I don't need to tell you that. Oh, great. Cool. All I had to do was tell him that he's not as good as the people around him, which is accurate. And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Sure. Tom Kearney, you can take PKs. I don't know if you'll ever take a PK, but sure, whatever. Stick to the center of the pitch. Why would I have my left wing do that? Riddle me that, you silly old biscuit. Our game against Bournemouth has been moved for live coverage. I mean, stop. We got it. We got Wrexham. The two teams we wanted, Colchester and Wrexham. We ended up getting Wrexham, who are currently sitting 22nd in the championship. We have a very real possibility to waltz into the semi-final of the FA Cup. Yo. Alrighty then. Things are about to get interesting here. Because I mean, we've proven that we can beat some of the top teams in this league, or at least give them a really great game and beat them when we're on our day. So I'm not as afraid of the rest of those teams in the FA Cup as one might expect, given who we are and where we have come from. Yes, exactly. And the semi is at Wembley, and I don't know if we all saw what our money situation is, but we're 11 mil overdrawn. Not great. We started the season with 52K, so we've lost 61, somewhere in there. So not great, but I mean, we just need to make it into the summer. We'll get the Premier League money, and then we'll continue to build from there. Yeah, I didn't think you were doing very well either. I'm disappointed. Last two games against not great opposition, Yuri Alberto has kind of burned himself out, maybe. Let's pep him up. Say, you can do it, Yuri. Yeah, as expected, Tete's given an additional 2-match ban. That was expected. Hey, Mike, your countryman. Do you know him? I don't know how big Greece is in terms of relative size. I know that's obviously you don't know. I mean, actually, I don't know who you know, but it would be very surprising if you knew Antonis Lemonakis. But maybe. Oh, he's already. Man, I was gonna put him on a short list and I couldn't. I was like, why is that? Well, because he's already on our staff, you fool. Partially torn groin for Tom Barth. Ouch. Sorry, my guy. And you're so young, too. Whoa. Well, he was a performance analyst. I don't know how deep your Greek knowledge is. But speaking of Greek players, I don't know if you've watched any of my not non-league Sunderland Till I Die series from FM24. It was the first save I put out there. Um, but we signed Konstantinos Karetsis from Genk, and he went absolutely psycho. He ended up winning the next gen award in that second season, beating out the likes of Lamine Yamal and all of the big. I put out not only the episode of it, obviously, but then I also put out a short um talking about him having won that. It was disappointing. I did, after we finished that save, I retired and then went ahead 5 years, simulated ahead 5 years just to look in on the team to see what they did. And I think Karetsa stayed with Sunderland, but they did not use him in the same way that we had. And he was just kind of like there. He was just another dude. He was a jag, just another guy, which is disappointing because in that save, I recognize in real life he is not this tall, but in that save, he was 6'4", coming in off of the wing, the right wing, and he could also play as an attacking mid. I mean, he was just an absolute stud for us at like 19 years old. The fact that we got him for Sunderland was really down to the fact that we got Champions League that first season. Simas, he signed with Brighton, I think, in my Sunderland save, and he was he was always scoring goals. Like I could not keep him off the score sheet. Who does Costulas? Oh, from Brighton. Okay. And Kretz from Genk. Yeah. I mean, it's it's always exciting. Like I always get that high, like, oh, I found them first when you find these players, like especially the ones that aren't talked about a whole lot in in the real world, and you get them in your game and they play really well, and then you see them make a big move out in the real world, because that happened with Milos Kerkez. I had him in that FM24 non-league to Premier League save, where I started at Scarborough Athletic and then made my way up to Brighton and played for them. I brought Kirkesh on, and I took him to every single one. I went from Brighton, won like 3 league titles with them, and was like, I'm not going to win the Champions League with Brighton. Um, I'm gonna go and go to Juve. So I didn't win any Champions Leagues with them, but I won the title each of the years that I was there. And then I think I came back and made me feel yucky, but I came back and took over at City, and that's where we won the Champions League. But yeah, I took Kirkesh with me every single year, and that was before he became big at Bournemouth and Liverpool wanted to sign him, and then everyone was talking about him, and I remember turning to my wife and be like, I knew about that guy already. Youth intake, I've just kind of talked over this. We've got Roger Saunders, uh, wing back. I mean, he's 6'2". I might be training him as a wing back there on the left. Then Musa Adamu, who kind of plays. I mean, he's 6'2", so he'll be playing in the center. 14 marking, 13 tackling, 15 jumping reach at 16 years old. 6'2" at 16 years old. Yes, please. Tony Shields, 6'2" at 16 years old. I think he'll be pretty good. This, I think, was an elite or 2 elite prospects. I don't really want to attend the game. I don't care much about that. And my Southport save, now he's leading the strike. Now he's the leading striker in the Premiership. Got USA to the semifinal of the World Cup where they lost to Sweden. Of course they did. Of course they did. I did a save early on in doing YouTube stuff where the word subscribed keeps coming to my mind because I want you all to subscribe if you aren't already. I think we're sitting at like 78% of you watching the videos are not subscribed. So you should do that. If you're sitting here wondering, what can I do with my time? You should subscribe. I simulated 50 years into the future and kind of like walked through all the crazy things that happened there. And there were some absolutely crazy things that were happening. Wolves went on a tear and were looking really great. But yeah, I mean, I then looked at the World Cup and, you know, the US women historically have been strong in the World Cup in that world that I had created. I think they didn't go back to the World Cup until like maybe 7 or 8 iterations later. The math right on that? Yeah. 7 or 8 iterations later. And then they were in the final. I don't know if they won it that first time of asking, but they were in the final like maybe 3 of the next 5 World Cups. But yeah, they were, I mean, the men were winning World Cups against, not the men's US national team, but like the World Cup men's version. It was like the Ivory Coast and I don't know, Bolivia or something. Like there were a lot of like really weird matchups. Hey, it's raining. Yay! Endoy. All right, right into Burn Leno's hands. Whoa, what a freaking throw by Burn Leno out to Castingay. Up to Alex Iwobi. Gets Yuri Alberto in, and Yuri Alberto is back on the score sheet. He is throwing arrows. Let's go. I thought he had dribbled himself out of an angle here. Iwobi sends him straight down the field, and the ball and Yuri Alberto are just slowly drifting to the left of the goal. But Alberto is able to get it down to Cell's left or right and arrows it right into the corner there. We're up 1-0 on Nottingham Forest. I don't even know where Nottingham Forest are. I know they're 20th in the or I remember that they're 20th in the whatchamacallit, he's offside. The form table, and we're pretty high up there. I only remember Nottingham Forest being 20th, but I guess we can take, I don't want to see that. Nottingham Forest are 14th with 33 points. We're with 38, closing the gap on Crystal Palace in 9th and shrinking. I think it was 9 points, 10 points between us and 8th. Now it's 7. So thank you, Newcastle, for dropping. Ogbu goes out wide to Castingay. Harry Wilson. Big, huge cross to Kevin. Kevin cuts inside. And can't do anything with it. Silly, silly Kevin. I would like to say in the last week, the last time we had our save, we were sitting at 99 subscribers, and I think we got 2 during the stream. So we were at 101. In the last week, we've gotten 8 subs, which pretty great growth. I'm excited about that. Harry Wilson can't get on the end of that, even though it looked like he got in front of his defender. Alex Iwobi, Timothy Castingay. Alex Iwobi will be staying here for a hot minute. I love having him as that attacking or that advanced playmaker in our midfield. He is just like a late arriving midfielder for us. And there is no way Matt Sells gets over there. We're up 2-0, increasing that goal differential. I mean, we must be positive right now. Oh, we're in a flat 0. So we have come a long way indeed. No way. I don't think I've seen that yet. Where Marinakis leaves within a year or two, leaving Forest in debt, and then they get relegated because of point deductions. Well, shoot, I want that to happen in this save. That'd be hilarious. Nottingham Forest had been my beta save, and then I was just so wrapped up in figuring out what FM26 was. I only put out 2 episodes of that. They were well received, but it was very much a Marinakis put up or shut up. I made him the head coach, and did my best to craft my manager looks wise and also personality. Like he had no coaching experience. I think the Marinakis that I had in charge of that Nottingham Forest team, he had no coaching experience, but he had ownership experience and business experience, blah 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 blah. So I tried to make it like true to life. And then I got too busy with life and figuring out how I was going to film FM26, because I don't know if anybody remembers, but right at the beginning there, when they didn't have a 1.5 speed, and the in between, everyone was trying to figure out what was the best in between speed in order to not have like 40-minute single game episodes. I was just too wrapped up on that. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see if Marinakis, the owner, had left Marinakis, the coach, out to dry. I guess we can see after this. It doesn't look like, well, I guess they wouldn't have had the points deductions yet. But we can see in this save. All right, Anthony Robinson is tired again. I mean, I might send him on a vacation. I don't remember what our schedule looks like. I know we're playing like Burnley, and then we play Wrexham. I mean, I might have some flexibility to send Anthony Robinson out and give him like a proper rest so that he can continue to play like full games for us. Because eventually, especially if we get through, when we get through Wrexham, it's, you know, there are going to be like some real times that we need our real players. So I might end up giving him a vacation here, a week-long vacation to rest up, go to the Maldives or something. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I was not expecting the save the night to go like this. I mean, we always have hopes and dreams, but I was not expecting us to just go on an absolute tear coming into this. I know that we got some really stellar help in that transfer period, but I was not expecting us to have gotten this level of assistance. I mean, I have to say again, thank you to Emil Smith Rowe. Oh man, that was close. Thank you to Emil Smith Rowe. Thank you to Al Hilal for a second giant injection of cash. I mean, maybe Fulham are secretly a Saudi club and they're just being funded by the Saudi royal family, because without that $56 million that we got for Smith Rowe, uh, Ogbu wouldn't be here. Yuri Alberto wouldn't be here. We would be in a much different place than we are right now. And that place looks a little something. Yes, thank you, oil money. And that place looks a little something like this. We are currently up to 10th. We are 3 points behind Crystal Palace for 9th, 7 points behind Newcastle and Chelsea for 8th and 7th. I mean, it is not out of the possibility, the realm of possibility, that we could be challenging for a Champions League spot. Because we still have 8 games to go, and we are 10 points behind Aston Villa in 5th. I don't expect that to happen, but with this form, who are we to say no? And I mean, we're playing Burnley. Yes, we have to play Liverpool, but then it's like Brentford, we play Bournemouth, we play Wolves. I mean, there are definitely points to be had in these last 8 league games of the season. This is pretty nice. So I think I'm going to play Burnley, and then we'll get through the Wrexham game, and then I'll end the stream. Because yeah, I wanna have something, a happy note for us to end here, or something to aim for here next weekend. So let's get on our horse here and go 6 unbeaten. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's go to Burnley, or have them come to us. I can't remember. I said that we were going to maybe rest some peoples. Ogbu, Anthony Robinson, we are absolutely sending him. You're Alberto, Alex Iwobi, Harry Wilson. We could probably send Harry, because we've got a whole bunch of options there on the right wing. We can't send Castnagay on loan because Tete will still be suspended. Gosh, King, we don't want to send him, because then that means we have to bring Sessegnon on. Kevin, go ahead and take a rest, because Alvarado will take your place. Sasha Lukic, go ahead and take one. Let's just make the adjustments now while we've got it here. Ogbu. You know, honestly, we could send a center back as well. We've got Joachim Anderson, we've got Calvin Bassey, and Ogbu. And what's his face? The German guy. Donde está los German Gallo? Friedel? That's Friedel? Yeah, Marco Friedel. I think Ogbu's been playing very well. Let's go ahead and reward him. He can take a break ski. We've got just under a week here until we get to Burnley. Oh, shoot, I should have waited. We've got like 3 weeks between Burnley and Wrexham. Dang, we could have sent the whole freaking team and gone to Burnley, or faced Burnley with the full strength side. Though I would hope that even our partially strong side is still strong enough to take on the likes of Burnley. Yeah, it's just 3 games. Oh, cool. We made 3.5% of the transfer fee. Awesome. So that's like $20. I can buy myself dinner. All right, so we have to assume Arsenal is going to beat Colchester. Chelsea's probably going to beat Crystal Palace, and City's going to beat Tottenham. So yeah, we just need to beat one of those three once we beat Wrexham, and we'll be in the final, and then we just need to beat the other one. So yeah, easy peasy. And then we make it to the Europa League, and we don't have to worry about closing points gaps. Dang, I really... Chat, why did you not tell me that I had all this time and I didn't need to send my players on a holiday when I had a game ahead and then like 3 weeks after that? Of course, Harvey Barnes should get an international call up. Don't be so silly. Of course he should. He's a stud. He's a stud. Ooh, yikes. I have not been playing Marco Friedel as a overlapping center back. Do we have him for real or he's on loan? Oh, we have him for real. I probably shouldn't piss him off. How did we get him for real? $12 million. Why would I have... What was past Chris thinking? Why would I have wanted him to be an overlapping center back? I don't use overlapping center backs. What kind of nonsense is that? Let's go ahead and put him in and just like hard code this. What? Y'all, am I missing it? Where is this overlapping center back? Is that advanced center back? Am I missing this? Am I being silly? How can I play him as an overlapping center back when I don't even have the option to play him as an overlapping center back? Riddle me that, you silly old potato. Yep, that makes sense. Which is incredibly frustrating because there is no way that I have an intention to play a back three. Well, that we're just gonna have to wait until he gets too pissed off and tries to throw a hissy fit, and then just tell him, "Sorry, dude, I don't know what you want me to say," and see if we can get him to back off. Because I'm not playing in a back three. I'm not doing that nonsense. We have a good thing going. I sure as heck am not going to adjust that good thing. Go horde when tackling. Go on the weaker foot. So that's Broya. Yeah. Did get a decent youth intake. There were 2 elite level prospects. I didn't bother. I'm not gonna sit there and do all the signings and all of that stuff on a live stream. I would do it in the background of a let's play. But yeah, they were fine. They were tall. I went over them, so I'm sure when the stream ends and the video gets posted, I'm sure you could go back and look at them. if I can't immediately find them after I finish this up. But yeah, we had a goalkeeper, 16 years old. He was not one of the elite ones, but a goalkeeper who was 16. That's not what I want. He was 16 and he was like 6'2". Oh, here we go. All right. So yeah, Roger Saunders, 6'2" winger / wing back. I'm going to play him as a wing back. I mean, his crossing of 11, pace is great. His aggression is there. He's decent-ish in tackling. But at 15 years old, at 6'2", I want him as a defender bombing up the field. And then Musa Adamu, 6'2" center back is what he'll play because his crossing is trash. And we just got Roger Saunders. But 15 jumping reach, 14 marking, 13 tackling. And then Tony Shields is that goalkeeper. He's 6'2" at 16. He's going to be a monster. Rondell McIntosh, 6'1". I mean, it's pretty spectacular that we have all of these over 6 foot players. Ridvan Berisha from Kosovo. I let my general manager sign all these players that he thought were going to be good. I would not have signed that Kosovoan player. Prince Undlov. Why has this disappeared? But he's a right-footed right winger, crossing of 11. Yeah, I think he'll be good. Got some Turkish guys in here that we're not going to sign apparently, except for that guy. So yeah, it was decent. Not anything spectacular. It did say that it was a good. It wasn't an elite or an excellent youth intake. But it will get better once we get some more money and once the board sees that we're working really hard to make this the best team possible. Harry Wilson, Kevin, jeez, get off me. Ogbu, cool. All right, so we said Harvey Barnes is going to get in there. Sanders, you've been complaining, or your people have been complaining that you haven't played nearly enough. So let's go and put you on the bench. We still need a midfielder. Put Josh King in there. Let's just see what happens with our young guy. Huh. Sama Traore, you can come in. And Spinazzola. Sure, you can come in. Honestly, I'd forgotten that we had Spinazzola as a left back. So now it's making more sense to me that maybe Friedel, I'd signed him to be that left-sided center back. I don't know. But let's see. Josh King, yes. Alvarado. Yuri Alberto. That's great. I mean, 9 goals, 10 goal contributions across his first trip into the Premier League. Absolutely, my dude. Good for you. Yeah, we got some people that aren't up to condition, but yes, nice personalities for development. Agreed. I don't know. I did not hire I don't think I did, the head of youth development, but it would be interesting to see what their personality is. We're second in the form table. Excellent. It'd be interesting to see what their personality is, because I know that that's something that often matches up. If you have a head of youth development that's loyal, you'll get a lot of loyal players. If you have one that's professional, you get a lot of professional players. So I honestly don't know. Maybe I did hire them, knowing that the youth system was a challenge, a rule, a stipulation in this save, utilizing that to keep an academy prospect in the game day squad for the entirety of the save. So maybe I recognized that, went and looked at the head of youth development and was like, ick and sign somebody over them. But we'll go and take a look. There's also something I think you all were supposed to remind me of. Oh my lord. Bernie. Bernie, 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 Bernie. What in God's name do you think you are doing? Brun Larson sends Broha up, and he's stopping. Broha's like, because Bernd Leno comes out, and then he's like, wait, no, he can't touch the ball. Oh my, what an absolute joke. Gross, 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 gross. I think we can absolutely upgrade our goalkeeper next year, especially if we're in Europe. Bernd Leno is not going to be our European goalkeeper. Alvarado up the field. He's going to play with Friedel. Friedel sends in Iwobi. And Yuri Alberto back on the score sheet with Alex Iwobi in the assist column. Yeah. Didn't we talk about that? I feel like maybe in a different episode we had talked about how you had brought Balotelli in. Maybe it was this case where you had brought him in as the head of youth development, and like every single one of your players that you got out of him was just like an angry little gnome, and they were all pissed off, and yeah, I think maybe that sounds familiar. That situation sounds familiar. Didn't he just sign with somebody too? Like to play? I mean, I know it's not anybody spectacular. Probably like the fourth division of Kazakhstani football or something. There have been a lot of former big names, or I guess they're still big names, but like former players of high quality that have recently signed in like the Azerbaijan league and the Kazakhstani league, and like not the first tier either. I'm in a WhatsApp group, or I'm in several WhatsApp groups for like transfer speculation and all of that, like any good football fan would be. And yeah, I feel like the end of this transfer window has kind of been filled. Kyle Walker, don't you dare, thank goodness, has been filled with just like the odd, hey, remember this guy? Like James Rodriguez. I mean, he's not one of the ones that has signed in a weird place, but like James Rodriguez is signing in like the seventh division of Congolese football or some like nonsense like that. I feel a goal coming here for Burnley, and there it is. Freaking penalty. Nonsense, man. Casual, temperamental, slack. Yeah, or spineless. I would I wouldn't exactly consider Balotelli. Oh, Burn Leto with the save. Hell yeah, let's go. Broja didn't deserve a brace. I wouldn't exactly consider Balotelli spineless. I think he's probably the opposite of spineless. I think he's probably too domineering in his expectations. But that's very funny that he created some spineless players. All right, y'all, we need to get our act together. This is crazy. Burnley are a trash team, and we are no longer a trash team. So let's get our crap together here. Feed Yuri Alberto, because he has come to play. Alvarado, on the other hand, has not. Dang. Harvey Barnes has not either. Jeez Louise. Friedel is playing like trash. So, sure, Spinazzola can come in. Hastingay's playing. Oh, golly, what happened? All of a sudden, we're just a dumpster fire. against a team rock bottom. We're playing a team that's 13 points below us in the league, and we can't get out of our own freaking way. I'll make some of these adjustments here. 0 time wasting. Speed that crap up. Like, let's put their feet to the fire here, because this is silly. Their XG of 0.189, granted thanks to the PK. We are absolutely letting down the 27,000 people that showed up to Craven Cottage. For what? For what? That took like 75 minutes to get that person in. Yeah, they are just... I mean, we are lucky to have walked out of that with a point. That's infuriating. Yeah, you were not good enough. I absolutely... And ultimately, it falls back on me because I made the mistake of not paying attention to the calendar and letting our entire starting lineup dip out. We would have dominated that game, which would have seen us up into, well, probably not ninth because Crystal Palace presumably has a better goal differential. That is very much a Balotelli story right there. 15 minutes, and like Jose Mourinho, like he, is the player whisperer. Every player or most players enjoy playing for him. And to have him sit there and try to spend his 15 minutes trying to calm Balotelli down so that he doesn't get a second yellow, and then have all that fly out the window 2 minutes into the second half, I think is, again, a very Mourinho Balotelli story. Speaking of Mourinho, did you watch any of the final game days for the Champions League? Because if you did not see that Benfica Real Madrid game, you should absolutely go back and watch the highlights of that. Scenes. And then to have them paired together in this playoff round, I think is hilarious. You have to think, I mean, Mourinho, I understand, is, he is the best coach in the world in his head. But you have to assume he's looking at that being like, well, shoot. Dang it. He had so much to say after that game. Not necessarily speaking, but just like body language. Had so much to say after that game. And now he has to play that exact same team in a home and away, hoping his Portuguese boys can figure themselves out enough to not get walked by a presumably angry Real Madrid team. Not even angry, furious. I mean, you have to assume that they've poked the bear something awful here. Sure, Kevy boy. Do I want to sit here and do all of this right now? Bernardo Cueva. I don't know what our set piece coach looks like, but you look really good. If I remember correctly, we really struggled to get excellent coaches. So you might be the best thing we've got. Set piece coach. Yeah, good, but not good enough. We can get a very good coach in here. I think we can do some fun stuff. Let's go ahead and add. Yeah, let's go ahead and add some extracurriculars. Community outreach. The boys can go out. I'm gonna try and put a friendly here. This little gap. Yes, that's the gap I want to put it in. Don't at me for that. Spartan Rover. I don't know. Who will cost me the least amount of money? Baldock or Spartan Rovers. Let's go Baldock, and we make 131K off of that. Okay. Don't mind if I do. Well, it was funny. I was sitting there watching the end. I had watched the Liverpool game, and then it automatically turned into the Golazzo like post match recap show. And of course they zeroed in on that game, and it was hilarious to listen to the people in studio, and then the commentators on the side confused why there wasn't more urgency from Benfica. Like they were winning 3-2 at that point, but they were just kind of like loafing around, and everyone was like, do they not know that they still need one goal to even make it into the playoffs? Like, yes, they will have prevented Real Madrid from making it into the final 16, but at the same time, they won't even make it to any of the rounds because they still need a goal. And then it wasn't until Rodrigo got sent off, and then they got that deep free kick, that I think they got maybe close enough to the sideline where Mourinho got told by one of his data analysts or whatever coaches, to like, maybe you yell at them to pick up the pace because we still need a goal. And that's when he sent the goalkeeper up. I think he probably had a lot on his mind. We'll say that. A lot on his mind there at the end of that game. Just kind of rubbing it in the face of Real Madrid. But again, I can't imagine Real Madrid doesn't win that matchup. Now that they've seen them play this season up close and personal, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion with two red cards and a goalkeeper scoring the winner, you have to assume they're going to come out and just absolutely go bananas on poor old Benfica. There we go. We go and whoop up on a team. We make $128,000 or $125,000 for it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Ernie, Shaq, Chuck, Kenny. Yep. Well, the breast jokes are always like, what is the, I don't remember the female pundit's name. Um, but she like always pokes Michael Richards about that because he thinks it's hilarious. And all right, Harvey Barnes getting his first Scotland cap. Um, he thinks it's hilarious and will not, refuses, will not act like a child when talking about Brest, the French team. Didn't we just have this conversation, Eugene? I don't appreciate you asking me the exact same question multiple times. Okay? So why don't you go back to Mönchengladbach? And now he's injured. So come on. What am I supposed to do here? I can't play him. You fool. You fool. All right, so we got a couple more days here. We're going to get to the Wrexham game. I'm going to play that. And then we're going to leave the save there. Ooh, here come. Ooh, next gen day. All right, we might not even get to Wrexham because, I mean, we're 3 hours in. I might just spend the next little bit just signing all of the Wonder Kids. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. Transfer list, Alfie McNally. I mean, sure. Again, who's going to give me money for him now? But it worked for Jimenez, so maybe it'll work for him. All right, here we go. 50 Wonder Kids. Lamine Yamal, obviously. Quenda, Ba, Nweri, Garcia, Fort, Mastantuano. Okay. Well, I guess first and foremost, nobody on this first list is going to be out of contract. So we're looking for people with 26 contracts. And if they're foreigners, that's even better because then we can just sign them right off the bat. So, gonna take some time to do this. Mocchio. Lewis Skelly. Andrew Paez. Boati. He's like the dude, right? Rodrigo Mora and Ayub Boati. Like they're the guys in this year in FM26 this year, right? Like everybody gets them because they're the go-to Wonder Kids. That'd be cool to get me some of that. Our Nipon. Wait, Drago. Yeah, again, I mean, this is flashbacks here to Sunderland Till I Die. Wade Drago was an absolute stud. Absolute stud for us in that series. He came in that second season and just went wonderful things. Estevao, nobody cares. Hendrick. Hogsberg. Hamzik. Okay. That guy. Let's go ahead and extensively scout him. His contract is up. Schwartau. I keep getting the dates in this save mixed up. I have to continually remind myself that I'm not as far as I think I am, because we're obviously several years into our non-league to Premier League save with Marine. And I keep looking at these dates and thinking, oh, we're close. Like 28, 29. We should pick that person up, only to realize that we're not actually that close. So I'm going to go ahead and just scout all these dudes. Moscovich, Lennon Miller, Gilberto Mora. He's also a dude, right? That people like. Let's just see. We do have money to play with. So maybe some of these players that have contracts that run out in 2028, we might be able to get a good deal on them. Bartow and Kitovich. Obviously, the higher up we get in this count or in this ranking, the less likely it is that we'll be able to pull any of these players for anything but loan spells. But I mean, even if we get, I mean, if we could get Lamine Yamal on a loan at Fulham, can, can you imagine? Like that's such a football manager transfer right there. At one point, I was playing a lot of the mobile version through Netflix, which I think is just like an odd combination. I recognize that, you know, they're trying to just put it out to as many people as possible, and Netflix, like everybody and their grandmother has Netflix. So it's a business decision, really great for them. Uh, Practical decision, I'm really confused. But I played a lot of Football Manager mobile, and at one point, I think I was at like Birmingham or something in the championship, and I got Lamine Yamal on loan, and he went just absolutely stupid. I mean, he was scoring at will. Ooh, that is a solid midfield, Mike. Ouedraogo, João Neves, and Kefren Thuram. Excellent, excellent midfield. That is something any team could be jealous of. Looks like Chelsea are looking for a new coach. Tom Kearney. They want me to offer him a contract. Woku. I'm not gonna bother with that until the very end. I don't know. I'm not too knowledgeable. Yeah, because I don't know who you're talking about. I was cagey with the media because I told them I have no idea what you're saying. All right, so we're losing like 3 million. 3 million a month. I think for a Premier League team, that's not horrible. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I don't actually know. But I feel like that's not a 3 million is not bad. You easily recoup that money. First Scotland goal. Harvey Barnes, good for you, my guy. What was that? Two caps for Harvey Barnes and one goal. That's a pretty good return. All right, set to release some youth players. Daniel Armour, James Bailey, Cameron Byrne Hughes. It'll be interesting to see who the big teams release in terms of like first team players. That's always like Christmas to me. At the end of the season, I was like being like, "Ooh, this player is now free. Let me hop on that." Alvarado has a bruised knee. Like for real though. I mean, if honestly though, if I were a scout for Fulham and they wanted to pay to send me out to Barcelona to watch a game, who am I to say no, right? That's above my pay grade to say, no thanks. I've got a hair appointment at this really snazzy place in London. Like, who am I to say no to that, right? Gibbs Basuma is picking up his training. Good for you. A flat 9. I think he will end up being a really great signing. I don't remember how much we paid for him. And I know I'm going to say, remind me after I finish this. Because I think I was on this screen the last time I said, remind me after I finish this. And then I completely forgot. And I think you all completely forgot as well. But I'm going to put it in my head. Crap, I've already forgotten. No, how much we spent on Yuzbasuma. I was going to say, I've already forgotten. Crap. All right, how much we spent on Yuzbasuma? I mean, 2.8. Yeah, I think for 2.8 million to have him stabilize the base of our midfield three, I'll take that any day of the week. All right, come on, Wrexham. We were playing at the racehorse or the race course. I'm sure there were racehorses there at some point. They want me to play Yuri Alberto out on the right wing. Yeah, freaking right, my guy. Yeah, freaking right. Ooh, we have not updated our starters in a minute. Ooh, that was like worse. Pick our best 11. Harvey Barnes is cup tied, which we knew that. Ogbu can come in and pair with Anderson again. Yuri Alberto is absolutely going to play over Matthias Tell. Harry Wilson, Lukic, Basuma, Robinson. All right, so it wasn't too far off. We are going to put Josh King back on, who is fully healthy. And then sure as heck not going to have Sessegnon because I don't like the way he looks. You know, I don't like the way he looks. Why do I have all these people? What is happening? I don't even have the U21 or the U18 selected. Did they put all of these players in my first team? Oh, God. I have to go through. Oh, Jiminy Gypsums. How embarrassing. I don't have to go through all of this. All right, let's give Tete another run here. See if he can maybe stay on his feet. Oh, gross. I don't want to have to go through that and send them all to the U18s or whatever. I did see that Arsenal slapped the crap out of Colchester 5-0. I'm hoping it's as straightforward for them as it is for us. UEFA Conference League place goes to League. They're qualifying for the Europa League. Next eligible Premier League. Okay, so 6th place is the Conference League. But we have to assume that 5th is going to be Champions League because it's England, and of course they're going to get a 5th Champions League team. So maybe we're going to have to squeak into that 7th place. Ekitike does the business. He certainly did today. What a freaking show from Hugo Ekitike today. And Florian Wirtz. Oh boy, they're making it happen. They are making it happen, and I am stoked to have both those guys firing on all cylinders on our team. Now, if only, like we talked about last episode, if only we hadn't spent all that money on Alexander Isak and we had put that money instead on, I don't know, maybe Mark Gay before he cost $1 bazillion, or Antoine Semenyo before he cost $1 million. So many things we could have done with that money. And instead, we're paying for a traffic cone with a boot. He wants to control his destiny. Destiny. All right, Mike, I will see you later. Thanks for the stream. Catch you on the next one. Absolutely, absolutely. I'll let you know how Wrexham, how badly Wrexham loses. All right, Bassi and Ogbu. I'm going to make the change there. Yeah, and again, we made the mistake of not putting a full strength side out there against Burnley, and we ended up losing our winning streak. I'm not going to make that same mistake and lose the opportunity to go into the semi-final of the FA Cup, having played literally nobody. All right, so here we are at the race course. You got to assume that Ryan Reynolds and what's his face are sitting up there. Are sitting up there in the director's box or the owner's box, watching this game unfold, hoping against all hope that their bright start, 2 shots, 1 on target, translates into doing something. Do you think that is Yuri Alberto on there? Do you think Rob McElhenney ever feels like the other person? I mean, I feel like everybody knows Ryan Reynolds just because whether it's, you know, his relationship with Blake Lively or Deadpool or just any of a myriad of movies that he has done. Do you think, like, in that moment when I was like Ryan Reynolds and that other guy, I know obviously Always Sunny and all of that, but like you have to assume when they showed up in Wrexham to talk to the board, people were like, oh, it's Ryan Reynolds. And his publicist? You think that probably got under Rob McElhenney's skin, or is he grounded enough to just be like, yeah, that's kind of just that's my life. And we are just this is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. We have not shown up today, and it is disgusting. No time wasting, increase the speed. We're going for a high press, and we're going to tackle the crap out of them, because this is bonkers. No freaking way are we about to lose this game. I know it's still the first half, but we have not shown up. I'm going to rip a new one for each and every one of these players at halftime. You best freaking believe it. Bonazzoli just cuts inside. Yizbasuma gets in the way somehow, and Bernd Leno is able to make the save. Another huge throw by Leno. This is going to be another one of those, like, here's your highlight to end the half. I cannot wait to just absolutely destroy this team in the locker room. What an absolute joke of a first half. Yeah, you better freaking get your act together. Harry Wilson on a 7-4, but he's not getting any help from Yuri Alberto or Kevin on the other side. Kevin, why not just play the ball? Alex Iwobi is just waiting in space on the left side. Disappointing. Kevin over here finding Iwobi finally, and then passing right back to Bassi because that's who we want on the ball. Yuri Alberto and Alex Iwobi can't get their freaking heads on straight. Kevin cuts in and puts it right into Nkonkwo. All right, Lukic steals the ball, goes in. Okonkwo goes and pushes it wide. We need to make a freaking statement. I'm going very attacking. I do not care. We better freaking show up here, y'all. I cannot with them. We're going more direct. After all that big talk of, oh, we're going to house Wrexham, we've seen ourselves into the semifinal. This is going to be incredibly embarrassing if these fools unseat us from the FA Cup. Oh my Lanta. What an absolute horse hockey, nonsensical bullcrap fest this is. Wow. Kevin is an absolute joke. I mean, Basuma has not been anything special. Wow, this is spectacularly bad. Alex Iwobi, you're going to go up. I don't know, like we're going to stretch things a little bit here. It's interesting that Alvarado and Robinson are already really tight. So disappointing. All right. So we've taken Kevin off. Muniz for Yuri Alberto or Matthias Tell for Yuri Alberto. Lukic hasn't been anything spectacular. Maybe we adjust that. Leave him on attacking, and Iwobi be a tracking. This is not fun. You know, when we don't win, it's not as fun. I think most, you know, we can all agree on that. When we don't win, it's not fun. But we have 30 minutes to score 2 goals here to save our blushes. Okonkwo better freaking make some mistakes here soon. Alvarado goes and wins it back to Iwobi. Here's the pressure we need. Yizbasuma up to Alvarado. Come on, Alvo. Let's go. Yizbasuma, Roberto Alvarado. All right, we are down 1 now. We have an opportunity. We have to make it count. I can't sit here anymore and be like, we should be doing better. Because we absolutely should be doing better. All right, I'm hoping that we have done some of the good stuff here and are about to turn on the Turn on the Jets. Alex Iwobi up top. Alvarado puts it into the back stick. Harry Wilson can't get to it, but Tete gets in it. And Alex Iwobi, let's go 2-2. Alex Iwobi, you beauty. You absolute stud. Kenny Tete just picks the ball up. And I mean, one touches it down, puts it into the back post. Alex Iwobi glides in front of that right back. And we are now up. Or, I'm sorry, we are now drawn 2-2. We've scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. And I mean, I say we just continue to push. Like, we've got them on the ropes. Let's continue to just do some crazy stuff here. We do have to keep an eye on Robinson. He's not playing particularly well. We've turned it around statistically. And look at our pressure, already high line. Going to press Doyle, who's going to have to go back to Cody. Connor Cody back to Okonkwo. That's another player, Connor Cody, who just got sent out on loan to like a random lower league club. Longman. You freaking jokers. And do we take Basuma out and just go 3 strikers? Or we could put Matthias Tell out there for Wilson. Rodrigo Muniz up there. What an absolute nightmare mess this is. Joachim Anderson can come on because Calvin Bassey is not having a good freaking time. Wow, we fought back here. And unless something wild happens, we are going to lose to Wrexham. Longman, Bonazzoli, out to Doyle, finds Longman again. Just cuts inside. Oh, man. All right, Alvarado's on the ball. Let's do something with it, Alvarado. Find Iwobi. No, let's just find Gory instead. Karsdorp. I freaking cannot believe this. We're going to lose this game. Mike, I'm sorry. Craven Cottage, I'm sorry. Fulham, I'm sorry. Burn Leno with a 5-7. I am embarrassed by that performance. Absolute horror. We had the easiest possible walk into the semifinal of the FA Cup, and we screwed it up. What a crapshoot. Tottenham beat City as well. I don't know. Did Crystal Palace beat Chelsea. So outside of Arsenal, 2 very beatable teams to go into the final and potentially winning the FA Cup. Well, I mean, all that can be said is we weren't supposed to be there. We were playing with house money anyway, but it doesn't take the sting out of the fact that we should have done freaking better. Well, I'm going to end the episode there because I can't stare at that stupid freaking result anymore. So, excuse me. some water in me. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're sitting here watching this after the fact, don't join us on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I recognize that's like the middle of the night in Europe, but maybe you want to see this beautiful face in live form, like Mike, and who lives in Greece, by the way. So it's not like he's right down the road from me. Just hop in, watch the stream. But I appreciate you all for watching this in general, keeping those numbers up in the live feed, just having it in the background of your workday, listening to me blabber on about what kind of stuff, getting Lamine Yamal on loan at Birmingham, you know, all sorts of crazy things. So yeah, we will I'll see you next Saturday for the end of the end of our first season with Fulham. So adios, and yeah, bye.